What's good with it? In the hood with it? You already know what it is. This is Gunner's Profiles, where we're really gonna get it in. Yes, indeed, we're definitely gonna get it in. Today I wanted to talk about some seriousness, right? And I know a lot of, hey, Gun, we're used to you being funny and funny money and all that. Listen, man, in a menudo style direct fashion, sometimes we have to calm that bullshit down and get to the realness, right? And I believe this is a real topic that nobody discusses. It's something that's swept under the rug, but it's something that we have to hit with a big old 357 slug. We definitely got to give you some knowledge you can't get in college, and something to get your mind stimulated so you can do some research, because we're in the end times, huh? We're in something a little bit different now. You know, the game is changing. I'm not into all these conspiracy theories, but there is a Mexican girl conspiracy, right? And I'm going to give you guys the game. So, to the best of my knowledge that I got in college. Now, trip out. What a lot of people don't speak about is what's been happening to our indigenous women and our Mexican women. Now, I put on the thumbnail the Mexican women conspiracy, but it's also a native conspiracy with our indigenous women, because they have been coming up missing for hundreds of years. See, and it's not just like, I know, let's get the little white girl down the street, she's missing too. The Africanas, let's get with the big old booty, big booty Judy, she's gone too. Yeah, she's probably getting clapped, getting a train ran on her by the homies from the 60s. But one thing I will say is for sure, is without making too much light of it, because I know everybody has their problems and everyone goes through their motions, there's definitely a problem with our Mexican and our indigenous women that are either coming up missing or being sterilized. Oh yeah, I said it. Fill that up with unleaded. Sterilized. Spell that 3 times fast. I say, for almost 100 years now, our Mexicana women, there's a conspiracy against them. And what is it? It's not necessarily against them, but it's against us, the people, our brown people. You know, right here in the United States, so many people migrate from Mexico daily, and they're looking for a new life. They're looking, so let's get to just the American dream, you know. And what happens after generations and generations and generations of Mexicanos are born here in the United States? They become Chicanos. Now, whether you like that word, whether you define yourself as a Chicano, because Chicano is not just a word, homes, it's the way we act, our cultura, the way that we do things here in the United States. It's definitely a word that's heartfelt for me. You know, like Marvelous said, man, it's a word that was created to be derogatory, but we grasped it and ran with it. Kind of like the blacks did with the N-word. They grasped it, made it their own, and ran with it. Okay, and it's understandable, quite understandable. So how it gets, that's the get down. One thing I'll say is for sure is facts is here. Once all these different generations are born here in the United States, what happens is, you know, we become in an abundance. We become the majority, like Califas, New Mexico, which was once ours. We are now able and have the vicious soldados to take it back. We come from a warrior spirit and a warrior blood. So the more people that are bred into this world, that means more soldados we have to plant our flags, to maintain. And there's a lot of people out there, and I don't want to necessarily put it on one race, brother, or one ethnicity. But there's a lot of people out there that don't want that. They don't like that. They fear that. And that's quite understandable, you know, to fear the unknown, to fear what could happen if a certain ethnicity, a certain people that come from warrior blood were able to get numbers. Because in numbers comes power. And with power comes everything else that you want. Even big old tonta again. If she ain't at least 200, you know, she ain't with it. But one thing I'll say is for sure is the way that these people decided to quash that, the way they were able to stop that, is somewhere in the 60s, 50s, even prior, man, they started to sterilize our women. Now, there was a time when the Mexican women were taking off ranchos. They were taking off these places of work where they had just come to work. And they were taken from their husbands, and it was under the guise of, hey, you have to come in, we have to do a vaccination on you, we have to do some type of whatever they felt that they had to do. And I'm not giving medical experience, man, it's just what it was, right? YouTube, so don't hate me, because you ain't me. But they definitely decided to do something to these women, and what it did was a lot of these women were becoming sterile, okay? And that was for one reason and one reason only, and that was so that these women could not reproduce. They could not reproduce the soldados, the Mexicanos, the Chicanos, our brown people. Now, it's something that isn't talked about. There's a couple movies about it, a couple documentaries, but it's something that's not spoken on. Our brown people have all these different platforms, but we never speak on the real. We're too busy speaking about money, big butt with a smile, gangs, prison, and everybody's enraptured with all the negativity that's going on. And that's cool, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have that. You know, I'm going to give that too. I'm going to say, the stick nod to the dick right. I'm going to go ahead and give all that wobble, wobble, wobble. But what I'm going to give you is some real. I'm definitely going to give you some real, because I think that we need to expand our minds. Gente, we need to be educated with not only our cultura, our lost ways, our lost tribes, our civilizations, but also with the education of what they don't want you to know, but what I'm willing to give you. Now, a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but it's just real, man. We need to stand proud and watch our Mexicanas because it's still being done even in these modern times. See, what was started then continues now. Because they don't want to see people that look like me or people that look like they can't fly though. But people that look like me and people that look like you prosper. You know, we're kept in a caja, we're kept in a box. And for the most part, what angers me the most is that we keep ourselves in a box. See, it's bred into our minds with this true warrior spirit to fight amongst each other. That's why we have north-south issues, Northern California, Southern California. That's why we have inner beasts between states like Texas and California, New Mexico and Arizona. This is all taught to us and indoctrinated in our minds so that we kill our own people. We go against our own people. Now, the same thing happens in the black community with the Crips and Bloods and this North Day thugs. And that's just how it is. This is what other people want for us. They want us to be so caught up in the turmoil amongst each other that the bigger picture, that big bag, that 1% that having them things, we don't never get into that. You know, a lot of people say, well, I can't wait till we have a Mexican president. We ain't never going to have a Mexican president. I said, because this is not Mexico. This is the United States. We're going to have a Chicano president, though, one day. It might happen. I don't know. The aliens might get us first. One never knows. Does one. It's getting crazy. But these are things we need to speak on. So when it comes to the Mexicana women, I'm very protective of them, you know, and not just because I want to bone them and things of that nature. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Sign up. There's a sign up right there. It's called the Gunner sign up. If you ever want to just like, subscribe, sign up, IG, you already know what it is, 730 shooter. Bang, bang, tap in. But even besides that, more so, I'm talking about, you know, protection of our women, man, of our women's rights and everything, you know, because the Mexicana women are the one women that are not, you know, because they don't have a large voice, because they don't have a lot of representation, they're not spoken on too much. It's kind of like everyone expects them just to make tortillas, frijoles, and clean the pinche bathtub back on Ajax, right? But no one really thinks about their feelings or what they're going through or how they feel. Well, I'm here to speak on it, man. Stand up for the Mexicana women because, see, that's what real Mexicans, real Chicanos, real brown people do. We stand up for everybody. I don't just stand up for the gente that's out there gang banging and been in prison. And yeah, I believe in prison reform. I believe in squelching the prison recidivism. I believe in all that, of course, and I believe in our youth, you know, prospering and coming up and being able to open doors for them that have not previously been open. Doors that weren't open for me. You know, I just got on this train. I'm trying to make it gravy, and that's just how it be like. But fact remains that a lot of people sleep on this one topic, you know, when it concerns our Mexicana women and our indigenous women, because, you know, we all come from indigenous blood. Oh, you didn't know? Y'all hold, right? We definitely come from indigenous blood, man. Everybody got some native in them. Native to the land, native to what we call home. Okay, there's no way you could represent a barrio, represent a hood, a turf, and not think about what goes into that barrio, what is produced and what is brought up in that barrio and what comes out of it. So you could be proud of your neighborhood. I'm proud of mine, man. You know, I remember at one point in time, we didn't have spray paints all over, you know, people weren't tagging all over our neighborhood because we held it down because we wanted our neighborhood to remain intact and to look good for the Mexicano people that were living in that particular barrio. You know, we represented our barrio, our hood. We were down to represent for ours, but we also protected those that were in our neighborhood, those older people or the civilians that were not involved in that. We made sure that no one was able to come in and do some bad things with them around because we valued the children and what they were doing when they were going to come up. You know, I have homeboys from my neighborhood, and my primo was a perfect example, whereas I was a gangbanger, grew up on the same street, right across the street from him, just in the mix. And I said, killing, allegedly, I don't need no new cases. I was doing me, whereas my primo was going to school and ultimately became a doctor. I have another primo that became a lawyer, and I'm proud to call them familia. That's the ones I'm proud of, not myself and my brother and the ones that did time. We're not the cool ones. We ain't the cool guys. You know, we're the ones just trying to get it together. We're the ones that are on YouTube. We're the ones that just barely got their first car trying to get it together. You know, and people look at us and they're like, oh, this is the homie, this is the homie. Hey, you used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. The same ones that were my homies and friends and that I struggled and fought for are the same ones that talk shit about me or don't want me around. Well, guess what? I'm not here for you anymore. I'm here for everybody. And I'm going to do it for the brown people. So I'm going to speak on topics and things that no one else wants to talk about because I believe this is what we need. You know, now I'm not the smartest fish in the sea, right? But I am a big bad shark. Order this on, stand up. I'm a great brown shark, and I guarantee you this. I I definitely will hold it down for our people. You know, I came in to YouTube to propel myself. You know, and just like anyone else that starts a channel, man, I wore the little mask and I didn't want to speak. You know, I didn't know how to act in front of the camera. But over time, man, I was able to grip and grasp exactly what I had, the message that I was trying to, you know, throw out there. And I'm going to continue to do that. So this is a topic that remains very, very, very in my heart and on my mind. And I'm going to speak on it. You know, these people that try to take our kids away from us, people that try to take our people away from us and eradicate our people from this land, this is the land of freedom, homie. We have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to bear arms. We have a lot of different freedoms here that they don't get in a lot of other countries. So there's some country you can't even spell like yes, God. They'll fuck around and cut your hand off. We live in a great country and we represent our barrios and our hoods. I'm from East Los, homie. We came out raised by hounds, but not only hounds, but people that want to hold us down, man. And that's what people got to express, and that's what people got to put out there. Now, I'm going to get hated on for this, and that's facts. You know, it probably won't even get pushed out to the masses. But we need to stand up for our brown women. We need to stand up for our indigenous women who have been coming up missing for hundreds of years. And you say to yourself, why are they coming up missing? It's for the same reason. You know, if you kill the women who bear the seed, well, guess what? Boom. There's nothing we can do. Sounds good. I'm a familia Africana and let her have it. We're going to have a whole bunch of gunners with jerry curls. Because I'm not playing, man. You understand? My seed will prevail. And that's just what we got to think about, you know. I'm culturally unbiased, meaning I love all different cultures, whether it be from Sweden, Norway, Europe, you know, Africanas. Notice I don't say Africanos, I say Africana. I like big booty Julia myself. I'm trying to win. And of course, all Latino descendants from Latino, based groups, Spaniards, Mexicanos, Hondurans, you know, people from Guatemala, everywhere, you know. El Salvador. I got love, and I respect it because I know everybody goes through a certain struggle, and that's what we got to understand, man. That's why I push that black and brown, and there's so many different movements that I'm behind, is because I believe we're all the same. I believe that we've all been through a struggle. It's not just a black struggle or a brown struggle or a wood struggle, because they've been through. I had roaches in my trailer too, brother. I know you did. You also had a big old bag of coffee. You were eating it on the yarda. I know. Guard, shut up, right? Their struggle is different than our struggle. They make us struggle. But I wanted to get back to the point in case, and that's these women. It's been going on. Look into it. You know, it's something, again, man. I did that video the other day about the Chicanas, man, that were killed in Fort Hood or came up missing, allegedly, right? And what I didn't tell you guys was in the year 2020, man, there was over 35 people that went missing on that base. It's kind of gets you in the boo-boo, huh? It's kind of a lot. Again, it's another form of fashion of bringing our people down. It's up to us with these channels and these platforms, instead of beefing with each other and talking about dropouts and actives and who's cool and who's not, and I like the Raiders, and I like the Chargers. Fuck all that, homes. It's about speaking out for your people, doing something in the community, helping out. You know, I know you guys don't see me do much in the community, but hey, I'm not here for all the flowers and everything, homes. I'm going to get mine no matter what. What I do, I does, cuz, you know, I try to do the best I can. I'm just one man, right? One man that's non-active, but active in the community. Like I said, and I'm going to continue to do that. I might bring it to you in comedy, but that's the way that I get you. You know, but I can get real. And I'm really getting real today, man. Look into our indigenous women and our Mexicana women, the sterilization and them coming up missing. Because it's all an agenda, gente. It's all an agenda. It's an agenda to bring our people down. You know, and it's up to us with these platforms and these voices, these rappers and everything, to do something. You know, have you ever seen, what's the population on rappers that really did it? Not very many, right? When it comes to Chicano rappers, there was this big debate the other day. Who was the king of Chicano rap? And then, of course, Conejo, respects to Conejo. He said Little Rob. Little Rob is the face of Chicano rap. He's the most known. Okay, you have Kid Frost and Sir Dino and Woody and Speedy Loke and, of course, Mr. Criminal and Dopey and Baldacci and all these vatos. And then all the youngsters, of course, that are doing it. But really, at the end of the day, not very many of us Chicanos or Mexicanos in the rap game really make it to that status. So all this fight over who's king, man, you're king in your own mind, because the people don't see you that way. The people just hear the music and then they're on to E40. It's just what it is. You know, so it's up to us to establish ourselves in something other than just rap or comedy. You know, we have to establish ourselves in politics, being a doctor, a lawyer, something that helps our people, makes a change. I don't know. A lot of people probably ain't going to watch this. I don't care. Maybe I'm ranting and raving. But one thing is for sure, man, the gun's going to stand 10 toes down for what I believe in, and that's the crown. And the crown is helping our people. Now, the king is that. Someone who can help their people to prosper, someone who can open up doors, someone who's unbiased regardless of where you're from. You know, I don't care if you're from the north, the south, you're a Surreno, Norteño, none of that matters to me. You know what matters to me is that you're brown, homeboy, and if you need a helping hand, I got you. You know, oh, I don't want to take your hand because you're a dropout. Well, guess what? Drop back in the ocean. I said, I'll put shark bites your ass. And I'm going to push over here to the people that will take my help. And that's just what it is, because I also need help. I need people to help bring me up. I need people to like, share, subscribe. I need people to represent with me so that we can build these platforms, you know, so that way our people have a place to come to party, to lay our heads, you know, to get some education, to get some culture, and just to relax. This is ours. We have something now, and it's up to us to keep it going. The Africanos do it. The woods bend. We did it, brother. We took everything you guys had. I know, brother. Right? I know. But we're going to get it back. You know, that's why you want to sterilize. And you want to know. You already know. We be banging. We be doing our thing. Okay? The SA's got a knife. The SA got a knife. Yes, we do. Allegedly. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna put this one in the wind. Look into our women that have been sterilized, man. It's been happening. I seen a movie on it, a documentary. I wish I knew the name of it right off the top of my head. But it really opened my eyes, and it made me think, you know, wow, this could have happened to my mother or to my tias or anybody, my grandmother, and then I wouldn't be here today. And it was happening. And it continues to happen. It just happens in different ways. You know, as a people, as a minority people, and as a people that are, I don't want to say impoverished, but don't have a lot of money like that, we're the ones that are going to be gone before everyone else because we're expendable. See, if you don't have nothing, if you don't make nothing in your life, then your children also become expendable because they become dependents of a government or dependents of people that don't want to take care of your people. You know, it's up to us to work hard, to have our voices felt, to make ways, to build our own businesses, to employ our own people so that way there is a way to go. I don't know, it's just some food for thought. What you didn't think gun could get deep, that sound deeper than the Pacific, to be specific, and it's just what it is. With the spectacular vernacular manner, twist it that way. Anyways, with that being said, please look into these things. If you're watching this, if you're not, and it's all good. If you got other better things to do, well, then do what you does, cuz. Just on power. Remember one thing for sure. The gun's going to stay rocking for the gente, man. What are you doing for our people? With that being said, move with a purpose, man. Go out there and get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, if you don't got it, go get it. You know, it's there. You know, it's just up to you to get it. Whether you get it legally, illegally, I'm not here to push all this goody two-shoe shit. Guard! Close your ears, puto. Go out there and get it, right? Just remember this, man. There's repercussions for every action. You already know what it is. So if you want to hit me with that thumbs up for Gunner's Profiles and what we're speaking on today, hit it. If not, thumbs down. See, Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I got love for everybody, black, brown, even the wood. Get over here, brother. Wait up, I'm drinking coffee. You already know what it is. This is the gun. Bang, bang.